Hello, everybody. It's me, Ride. I'm here on Voice of Students. This is my first time, and I'm here with one of my friends.
Hi, my name's Aditya.
Aditya, how are you feeling today, bro?
Feeling good. How about
Feeling
you?
good? I'm good, bro. I'm good. So we're here to discuss on, issues with schooling systems. You get me?
Mhm.
Do you have any issues like with teachers, education, any of the categories that you can think of?
There's like a lack of subjects in school, obviously. Like the school should give like more choices for what the student wants
More
to learn.
choices for like what a student should like obviously learn about, because obviously our generation is more keen to like technology, you know what I mean, such
Yeah.
as gaming platforms and such, so we want to extend our knowledge and or obviously gaming systems or whatever, more into these like platforms, right?
Yeah.
So um obviously I think I definitely agree, like teachers teach stuff from the past, what they learned, and they continue with that curriculum rather
hmm
than teaching us what we want to learn. So, do you have any like favorite subjects in particular?
maybe like geography, history, those kind of subjects.
Geography, history is very interesting. Have you seen the movie Oppenheimer
I've
before?
not seen it yet, but I will watch it.
You will watch it. I haven't seen it either, but I've seen the trailer actually, and it's very interesting. It's actually related to history
hmm
in some sort of manners. You get me? And one of the particular quotes from the person that made the nuke, but it's like, "I am become death." What do you think about this quote?
Yeah, I mean, he's not. Of course, it's not true because he's not becoming death. It's not his fault that the nukes killed everyone. And
Right.
if he lived longer, then obviously he would have seen that. But
So yeah, so the question that I have about, well, I want to know what you think, right? About teachers not having, like, not allowing the students in a way to determine from right to wrong with topics such as like brainwashing, and propaganda, because when it comes down to movies especially, media very big, because like, obviously movies nowadays that are like published, right? It has a whole agenda behind it. You get me?
Hmm.
It has a whole like agenda, and it's also teaching kids at a younger age, especially to be in a way like influenced. You get me? So when it comes down to teachers, in their roles, right, and not in a way guiding the students to determine from right to wrong. What do you think about that? Or do you think they should do something like that in a way?
I feel they should definitely like explain to the student like what is right and what is wrong. Otherwise, the student might be led in the wrong path.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think, but because topics like, I mean, just this in general, when you say that, right? People might say like, okay, wait, we were taught this in like kindergarten, like preschool or something, right? For
hmm
like little kids. What about kids that are like middle school from grade 1 to grade 9, and then going into high school, from 10 to 12, you get me?
Yeah.
So obviously right from wrong, right? But do you think each category or each subject has its own ethical or like professionalism added to it in a way to determine from right to wrong? Because obviously it can be broken down into different lengths of like what is actually right, what is wrong. You can't really just explain to a little kid like, hey, you can't go killing that person or you go to a jail. The
Mm.
kid will be like, what the hell is he talking about? You get me?
Yeah.
So do you think there's different like levels of these things adjusted in each grade as they grow up and stuff? Or like, what do you think? What are you trying to say exactly, like from right to wrong?
I don't. No, I don't think there's like a certain stage. Like we should like just explain everything straightforward. Yeah.
Straightforward. So like each time they grow up, each time they get to a certain degree of understanding and subconscious, like all that, then they should be explained from this
Yeah.
subject to this subject. Yeah.
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 Mm, I mean, yeah. It's very you know complicated, but I feel okay. Maybe the stage thing. I understand.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
maybe like
But
when
I
they're
feel
young.
like the stage thing doesn't really apply in like school nowadays, you get me?
It doesn't.
Because like if you look at society in a way, like even in like older times, right? Like maybe in the 80s or 70s, right? Bro, back then they would be using slurs and stuff like that, you get me?
Yeah.
I felt like society was very insensitive at that time than it is now, because now society is very sensitive, bro. Speaking about certain subjects could literally, even I think this is what I think. Not only is there an issue within the schooling system, there's an issue within their own like industry, within their own like little like office, you get me? There's a whole like lot of like politics going on in their own little like firm, you get me?
Mm.
So I feel like even just the issue with students is not a bigger whole as it is with what they're going through as well, because certain teachers, if they speak about certain subjects now, and or even be very open-minded, I feel like they would get fired, or like most likely like like kicked out of their job or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I think essentially it comes down to maybe whoever is the one in control, that makes the rules, you get me?
Mm.
And that comes down to history in a way, you get me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do feel
it's
like that.
it's very interesting.
It is.
I know we're talking about issues with schoolings, right? In schools and stuff. What do you find very interesting within school, like the schooling system?
Mm. Probably the fact that if in some way that the thing that you're learning in school you're actually interested in,
Yeah.
you might be able to pursue that as a career. Maybe that might be interesting. That's really cool. And maybe the fact that you also make a lot of lifelong friends in school.
That's true. That's true. Are you like a very like outgoing person in general?
I was, but like after quarantine and all that, it
It
kind
just
of,
kind of like
yeah.
decreased, right? So you're more into gaming than you are with like socializing, I'm guessing now, right?
I wouldn't say too much because most like games are completely like dead.
Bro, a huge thing actually Teach Bahrain or Teach Academy, you get me? They came up with this one idea of like this very excellent idea actually. You know how quarantine and all that stuff happened, right? So, society is progressing like at a very high speed rate, you get me? And this academy, came up with the idea of like online schooling system. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, I think it's pretty neat.
And like for guys like us, or just even like people in general who are like now, more stuck to like PC, online media, social, all that stuff, right? Do you not think it's interesting, or it's very cool that the idea of online schooling system, a whole academy, you get me, with filled with classes, subjects, people having their own little like channels, where they can chill with their friends online and play games even in that same academy.
Yeah,
It's a whole platform on Discord, bro. Discord, the gaming platform,
yeah,
which was essentially made for gaming, but now Teach Academy and Teach Bahrain or whatever, they came up with the idea of implementing that on a Discord now. What do you think of that, bro?
yeah. I think it's very interesting and it's very, it's nice to see that.
I,
Like,
I think I
well,
think it's I think it's like I'm just shocked, like when I hear about stuff like that, I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
how
The
far it
thing that
came.
how no no no, it's you know what intrigues me, bro. The crazy thing is how these companies, right? These rich millionaires or whatever, like these people that are high up there, how they think so intricately, but
Hmm.
they're so simple. Like their thoughts are so simple, but it's so intricate because like whatever new platform comes out, right? For example, Notion, I think it recently came out in Bahrain. You get me? And all these companies, bro, they immediately reacted on it, and they're jumping on this idea. They didn't even take the chance of like saying, "Oh, it's a new app. I'm gonna wait for a bit, maybe beta, alpha." They didn't care, bro. It came out. They're like, "Okay, let's see this." They jumped on it, and now they're expanding their platform, bro.
Yeah,
Isn't that interesting? Like
it
that's
is.
crazy,
It
bro.
is. It's
And
very.
especially for people who are like interested in business and they want to like go further with their business. You get me?
Mm.
Have you ever had, I know we're still supposed to be on the topic of like students and like all that, like stuff, right? But like, have you ever had any ideas about creating a business maybe in the future or something like that?
I wouldn't say I had the idea of like, creating a business, but I might be able in the future maybe.
No, no, no. Forget the future, bro. This is present. This is now. You get me?
Hmm.
You know those quotes or those movies, those action movies you watch, right? Avengers, right? For
Yeah.
instance, they all have that slogan, right? If we don't save the world today, tomorrow is gonna be something else. You get me? So think about it right now, right? Forget about the future, right? Present, okay? Okay, look. You said a minute ago you've had particular interests, right? Online and such. You get me? Here and there. Why don't you turn those interests into a business, bro? Make profit out of it, right? Why
Yeah.
you imagine playing a game for free when you
Mm.
can when you can do like you see like Face Clan, right?
Yeah,
They started for fun, right?
yeah.
But then they started recording clips and they made profit out of it, bro.
I
Something
yeah,
to live off of.
I do agree. It I can do that. It's very I'll
Yeah.
try. I've tried those things before, but
No, no, no. Forget about trying. I'm saying just your interest, Go
mm,
we're talking about interest, right?
yeah,
So no excuses, like no trying, no none of that. I'm saying do
go
you
for it.
want to? Like do you actually want to make profit out of these things?
Yeah.
Yeah. So say for instance, what are your particular interests? Because I know you mentioned about online and all these things, right? So
Mm, well, apart from like gaming, I would say maybe particular sports, maybe like
particular.
football, badminton, those things.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, I
Do you,
could, I
go ahead,
could,
go
I
ahead.
could feel that, I could make a profit out of like, maybe becoming a footballer or a badminton player.
That's true. That's very true. I mean, obviously, with stuff like that, that's hard work. And then you can say, yeah, in the future, I'll maybe, work along the lines of going towards that future because, well, I feel like, I have a really different perspective with like the online world, because to say that the future with online, like just PC and all that stuff, the technology that is increasing at such a high speed rate, to me, the different perspective that I see is that with online, there is no future. You have to do it. You have to act now.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're gonna be very slow. You're gonna delay, and you're just not gonna catch up
obviously.
with society, because society is running, bro. They don't
I
care
know.
about you being left behind. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? But then with stuff like with the stuff in reality, like such as like becoming a footballer and stuff, that's more reality based. That's more like, okay, yeah, I can plan my steps for the future for that. You get me?
yeah, yeah.
So that's why I see these two things as like a very different like perspective. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Um, but yeah, this has been a very interesting podcast so far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we can speak about more things in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. If you have anything interesting that you actually took from this podcast, go ahead, write it in the comment section. We might actually read it and might discuss it in the next podcast. Q&A. You get me? So simple. You feel me? Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. And this is once again us, Voice of Students. See you. Peace out.